of the Dope Conversations podcast. I am your host and your girl, Kim Bella. And I have my special friend, special guest, Miss Arica Eggleston. I don't call her that. Her name is Arica with the A. What's up, Arica? Kim. This is my homie. Yes. My girl, I love her so much. I'm so happy to have you in the podcast room.
And I'm so happy to be here.
You like the podcast room?
It's so beautiful. It's beautiful. It's a vibe. Yes.
I am so happy to have you here.
I'm so happy to be here.
I love that conversation.
Yes.
On the phone.
On the phone.
And we done brought it into the
room.
room.
Brought it into the room.
I'm so happy. So everybody, you know, our people that know you, we call you Arica with an A.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
But who is Arica? Tell us a little bit about Arica.
Ooh, okay. Arica. Arica is a wife.
Yes.
Arica is a mother. I am a grandmother. I'm a sister. I'm a daughter. You know, I'm an auntie. You know, so I have 4 children, and I have 4 bonus children.
Mm-hmm.
I have 13 beautiful grandchildren.
Aww.
It makes life so easy. And I love to cook. Of course, everybody knows that. I love to cook, and everybody knows I love to make my money.
Yeah. You gonna get the bag.
I'm gonna get the bag.
I love that.
Yeah.
So what do your grandkids call you?
Granny.
Granny.
Oh
Oh my God, that's what
Granny.
my girls call my mom.
Yeah, Granny.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, y'all can't see her over there, but my girl is over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know who it is.
I don't care all them other names.
Yeah, Gigi and all that.
No, if that's what you want to call me, that's who I am. I'm Granny.
Granny.
Yeah. I'm okay with it.
I love that. That's what my girls call mama, Granny.
Granny.
I can remember my mama wanted to know if Mila could call her mama. No. You Granny.
You Granny.
You gonna stay in that life.
Yeah. Now, if I can get my mama to understand that I'm the granny and you the grandma,
right.
you know, we'd be in a good place.
Yeah. So that's good. I love that. So you're here in the podcast room today because you have such an amazing story.
Yeah.
Such an amazing story. And your journey is so incredibly dope that when we have conversations, when nobody knows we're having these conversations, like I'm on the phone and I'm like, I want people to know. I want people to hear this. You know what I mean? This journey. Like you go on your page and you go live.
Yes.
And you talk a little bit, but I want people to really know like your journey. You know what I mean? Because while you're already loved and liked, I think they're going to really fall in love with you.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's really going to be Arica with an A.
Arica with
some
an A.
shirts made.
There she go. Arica with an A.
That's what we're going to do.
Right.
So, it started. Okay, did we go to Maplewood? Where we go?
I went to Stratford.
Oh, okay, excuse me.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I don't know why I thought Maplewood.
Because you thought that because my family grew up in the same neighborhood
East and stuff like that. Okay, so we're
but I got shipped off to the other side of East.
Okay,
So I got shipped over there, and I became Stratford.
Stratford, we're Spartan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
But I went to Schwab Elementary.
Me too.
And Miss Harris was there.
Yeah.
Miss Kelly. Yeah.
I had a speaking engagement not too long ago, and I went to Belshire and had this speaking engagement. It was super dope, by the way.
Uh-huh.
But when I was talking about my journey, what school I went to, I said every school but Swan. And that was the school.
That was the school.
Yeah, don't you remember walking home? I used to walk home.
We used to walk home.
And we used to walk through the car wash.
Through the car wash. With all the prostitutes.
And we would just walk straight through there.
Straight through there like nobody matters.
Yeah.
We were safe.
That was a thing. Now you drive down Dickinson Road,
No,
you're like,
it's
what's happening?
like, where's my
where's my hood?
Where's my hood?
Yeah. I love it. Okay, so Stratford, I want to know, where do you want to start with this? Like, when did it start for you, your journey?
My journey.
This testimony, this dope testimony you got.
So my journey started when I called myself wanting to heal from being molested. I was 30. I was already in the game.
Okay.
In the streets.
Okay.
But my healing journey came when I was 30 years old, and I wanted to go on and speak out about my molestation.
Okay.
Which people knew about it that knew me, but nobody really knew.
Okay.
So
when you say people knew about it, were you telling people?
Well, like my family, some of my family members, they knew about it.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
and it's just like that. You know, we don't talk about it or nothing like that. But it was time for me. It was this one night, and I had called one of my older cousins, and I was like, I'm ready to talk about it.
How old were you?
I was 30.
You were 30 then. When you wanted to talk. Okay, how old were you when it started? The molestation.
9 years old. Yeah. And so
you held on to that.
I held on to it, and I was just like, I need to release something. Something is me that needs to get off my chest. So I called her, and I was like, I just need to talk to you about this. And so she was like, what you want to talk about? And I told her, I said, I gotta talk about it. And that's when I started talking about it, and I told her everything like it just happened yesterday. That's when I knew I was growing up. I knew I was growing up.
Okay.
And I said, okay, I done got it out. I'm growing up. Okay. But I knew that I still was in my mess. And I was still in my mess. And me being molested, yes, it to other people, it made them look at me as a kid growing up that I was angry. But I wasn't angry. I was guarding myself.
So it wouldn't happen again.
So I was guarding myself. I became like a bully. I was a bully. I became a bully because I was determined that I was not going to allow nobody to take from me ever again, you know.
Yeah.
So
I remember at the last episode with Ashley, she said she used to fight a lot.
Yeah.
She said, I was so angry.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do with those feelings.
Yeah.
And so she would fight. So yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
And
wow.
And mine wasn't so much as angry. It was so much as I wanted everybody to see me for Arica, not for this little girl that was molested. It was taken things. I wanted to be a teacher. That was my whole world. I wanted to be a teacher. I didn't want no kids. I didn't want children.
You didn't want kids?
No.
If I tell you something, we gonna tell the purpose.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a flight attendant.
Yeah.
And travel the world.
And
then I got kids and OCD. So
that
ended quick.
just ended.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Like I wanted to be a teacher. That was my goal. And like, you know, my grandmama took me to church, and you know, I made A's and B's. I was one. Even though I grew up around all the boys in my family, but education was important to me. You know, even when the church was giving out money, I wanted to get that money. You know, so I made sure I made my A's and B's. You know, and then my family was giving out money too, and I made sure I wanted to get that money over there too.
Yeah.
So you know, I did not want children. Was not nothing that I wanted. I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted education. But then again, when they got taken from me mentally, I didn't think about being a teacher no more. I didn't think about, you know, I didn't think about none of the good things anymore.
Your abuser, was it someone you knew?
Yeah.
Family member?
Yeah,
friend?
it was my auntie's husband.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so
it's oftentimes family, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And it was so crazy. My family would think one of my family members would think she thought it was my stepdad because I grew up in a abusive home. I grew up in a home that was full of alcohol because that's my mom and my mom and dad did. It's the truth. So they immediately just went to, oh, it wasn't him. He's a church man. He go to church. It had to be the stepdad. Now my stepdad has loved me like a daughter, like no other. He's never looked at me in that type of way. That man has been my everything. Yeah. So he would never do nothing like that to me, you know. But then because you know, that's how the world is set up, as you using a drunken household, and this man is in a church. That don't matter. And it didn't matter, not to him. So, you know, but I knew that I wanted to, you know, continue to go over to my cousin's house because I was the only girl over to my grandmama's, playing football, being a whole tomboy. But then when I go into my cousins, I'm a girl, you know. But then I was a girl that was being molested by their father. So, you know, but once I overcame that situation, knowing that I had to heal from that, life began to be a lot more better for me. But my mindset of a go-getter, of a hustler, stayed in. It was in me.
It was in you.
It was in me.
Like, I gotta get it.
I gotta get it.
Yeah.
You know, I had
Yeah.
4 children. I gotta get it.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I started having kids. You know, some of my family members always said I was gonna be in the projects.
Yeah.
You know, she's gonna keep having these children because I was having them back to back.
Yeah.
And you know, you know, getting them out the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they always said I was, you know, this. They talked about me, you know, but they also used my smartness,
Mm-hmm.
you know, to benefit them.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I'm gonna go to the drug dealing.
Yeah.
And he's like, Erica, how did you become a drug dealer?
A whole drug
Like,
dealer.
Erica, how? And nobody really never knew. But I was a big
On the
one.
phone, you said I had a team.
I had a whole team. I had dates. I had it written on calendars. I had it written down how much money I was going to get from the plug and how much I was going to get a third party.
And
then
nobody knew.
No.
How long did you do this?
21 years.
Erica.
I was a big drug dealer. Like I'm talking about the biggest.
Really?
Yeah. And it's because it's like, okay, when I had moved into this house and one of my cousins, he was a drug dealer.
Yeah.
And so he asked me, could he put drugs in my house? And I was like, yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you gonna get messed up with family?
Yeah.
But I did not have a clue because I was working. I wasn't working with I worked my butt like I was like an African.
Okay.
So, and so when one day he called me and was like, hey, I got some people that's trying to come by. I need you to weigh up some stuff for me. And I was like, okay, I don't know how to do that, but I can learn.
Yeah.
So he started showing me how to weigh up. And so I started serving his people. And I'm like, I'm over here serving your people. I can get my own people.
Yeah, I can figure this out.
Let me figure this out,
Yeah.
you know. And so after that, I told him, I said, look, let me do it myself. Because I live right across the street from the crack house. So I got this. I can do this.
Yeah.
So he's like, no, you can't. I said, yes, I can.
Yeah.
Let's do this. So, you know, he gave me my first drugs. I started. I just did a little bit then.
Yeah.
It wasn't as much. I just did a little bit. But I still was a working mom.
Mm-hmm.
So I just did enough just to kind of get by. But then when I moved into old Sutter Court,
Baby, it was on.
it was on. When I moved to Sutter Court,
Yeah.
and this older guy, I can't say no names,
Mm-hmm.
he seen me walking one day, and he was just like, hey. And I turned around, and I was like, what? Who, me? He was like, yeah, you. I said, what's up?
Yeah.
He was like, I'm going to let you marinate. I said, you don't let me marinate.
Like, what is
I said, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
So I walked on, went on. And so then, you know, he kept seeing me every day with my kids coming down the street from Glen.
Yep.
My
I
kids
remember.
getting dollar bills. And so me and him, we started talking. We started kind of, you know,
Yeah.
And so, you know, like I said, never mess with the plug.
Right. That's
That's a no. You never mess with your plug.
Okay.
Because
okay.
the
I'm
emotions,
learning.
get to flying and going on, and then the money get messed up. You know? So don't never mess with your plug.
Yeah.
That is like never mess with your boss on your job.
Yeah.
So he dropped his first. He started dropping, you know, marijuana on me.
Yeah.
I started selling nickel bags. I was a nickel bag queen in Sutter Court.
Really?
Sure. Like when I first moved to Sutter Court, me and my kids were homeless.
Oh.
You know, I went through a homeless stage.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
and so in my life, and so when we moved over into the project, I had to get my kids somewhere to stay. So we moved into the projects and in Sutter Court, and so we moved in with crates, TVs on crates, the bed, the mattress on crates. I had my auntie Laura, rest her soul, she gave me a sofa, but when you sit on it, you can feel the sticks on your butt. And I'm just like, Lord Jesus. But this is a stepping stone. You know, then my auntie brought me a table from a yard sale that had bugs all in it, and I had to, it was just like, Lord, this has got to be a stepping stone for me.
This can't be my life.
You know, this is not what's up.
Yeah.
Honey, I started selling them nickel bags, slinging them nickel bags, baby.
Had a whole living room suit.
Had a whole living room
Bedroom suit.
Whole bedroom
Kids
suit.
had whatever.
Kids air conditioners and everywhere with remote controls and everything. You know? Everything. So, you know, so then all the guys started seeing how I was pushing the marijuana for him. So then come another guy. Eric, can you push for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Because they was looking for somebody who was in the project because they wasn't living there. So I was like, okay, I got you. So I think I was sitting for like 3 or 4 guys at one
and you
time.
probably didn't even look like the person. Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, so it worked.
It worked perfectly. You know, then me and my homegirls, you know, we had shifts. You know, I was in the shift. You know, we had shifts. Like,
going on.
A whole corporation. I was wearing wigs and tucking my weed up under the wig, and you know, I was up there with the guys. You know, hey, I was making my money.
For real.
Yeah, and when my kids would come down the street, coming home, I see them coming. My shift is getting ready to end, cause now I gotta be a mama.
Gotta be a mama.
So
you
now
never mixed that.
I never mixed it. I gotta
it.
be a mother.
I got it.
So come on, kids, let's go here. Cause we got football practice. Cause my kids play football, they cheerlead. You know, we gotta do this. We gotta get homework done before we go out here on this field.
Yeah.
You know, my dinner and everything will be cooked. Cause I cook everything before I come outside. You know, so I had a whole. I'm talking. I had it set up.
Yeah.
You know, and my kids talk about that today. Them are Arica kids.
Yeah.
And when we come down the street, we getting dollars from everybody. So you know,
Oh.
I went from marijuana. I try to sell a little cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
One of my partners, he was like, "You don't want to get in there because you know that's a different game right there.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, weed people come to you 1-2 times a week. When cocaine, they come to you every day, all day. They have no respect. They knock on your door all night.
Oh, really?
And I'm just like,
Yeah.
well, let me try it.
Yeah.
I just want to see what it's about." And honey, when I tried it, I was like, I don't think I like this.
Yeah, they get on my nerves.
Yeah, I had to start going, kicking in the doors. I was terrible, y'all. I was going there. Get my money.
Get your money.
Get my money. I'm going in knocking. They're like, "Erica, what you got to have? Because I want my money."
Yeah.
Like, you can't be scared doing this.
Ooh.
So I elevated from the marijuana, the cocaine. I left the cocaine alone because that was just too much. And it was disturbing my children.
Yeah.
I can't let that happen.
Yeah.
So they ended up tearing down Cellar Court. I moved into Joe Johnson. And then the people that knew me was like, "You gonna start back selling weed? You wanna?" I said, "Nah, I'm just gonna go on to work because I don't know about this area. You know, I gotta be careful. My safety is important. You know, these people don't know me over here."
Mm-hmm.
But what I did do is I started selling plates.
Plates.
Yeah.
Food.
Okay.
You know, I'm like,
Brenda
Brenda
Johnson and her family come get chili plates and everything for me over the project. Brenda, you know. Yeah. So I started cooking in Joe Johnson, selling plates.
I swear I thought you was going to say, no, that's a cold word for something else. You really cooked food.
I really cooked food.
And got down.
And I was getting down. I was selling everything in Joe Johnson.
Really?
I was making so much money. I'm talking about I was tearing them down. So after I left from Joe Johnson, then I ended up moving over on Straightway. And I lived there for a while. I was dealing with a guy that was selling drugs, you know, because I love the drug boy. I did. I love a hood man. Because I need to quit running. So, you know, then I ended up getting busted over there with him. I mean, him caught a charge together, you know, Lord rest his soul now. But we caught a charge together. We were charge partners.
Really?
Yeah. Sure. But guess what? I still was a hustler because I had to have a lawyer.
Yeah.
You know, I was working at it's now City Gear.
Yeah.
But I was working there, honey, and I had to get money up.
Yeah.
You know, to pay my lawyer and stuff like that, and I did it.
Yeah.
You know, I lost my apartment. I was homeless again. You know, I lost my apartment. I lost my cars. I lost my jobs because I was working for Metro School. I was doing all of that, and so I had to climb the wall again. So I climbed the wall, lived with my cousin for about a month. A month later, I moved into this house, stayed there probably a year or so. Then I moved into a condo over there on Woodland. It was the only black people in the neighborhood, baby. But I still, you know, and I worked. And so my cousin introduced me to the pill game. I would take him because he owed everybody. So I would take him to the doctor. I would sit back and watch what he was doing.
Yeah.
You know, you got a little pain? I do too. So, you know, so I'm watching him. You know, I'm learning. I'm sitting back learning. I'm watching his moves and everything he's doing. So I ended up getting in the doctor. I ended up getting pills.
Yeah. And then you was
I would sell them. I started selling. You know, I had my people. I had my connections. You know, then I started, you know, my family. I started getting them on. Okay, get your medical records, bring them to me. Let me pull out what you don't need. You know, I pull out what they didn't need. Here, this is all you need to get to the doctor.
You knew
I knew
the system.
I knew the system.
What to do.
I knew what to tell them. I knew what to say. They called me and say, hey, well, tell them this right here.
Yeah.
You know? And so, you know, and so I told, and I know it probably sounds bad, but I told God, I said, just give me grace and mercy.
Yeah.
Because you know what I'm doing with this money. I'm not jacking it off. I'm taking care of my family.
Yeah.
I'm taking care of my kids. We going on trips. My trucks had rims every 3 months. Make me mad. I go get a new set of rims. Yeah. You know, I'm riding on 25s. How much? Mommy, you remember that? Riding on 25s. And then they like, what? You know. And so, you know.
So you live like that lifestyle for how you said 20-some years.
Yeah, but the pill game would really put me where I needed to be, and I think I lived that pill game life probably like 6-7 years.
6 or 7 years. Never got caught.
Never. No, I got caught one time.
One time. Okay.
One time.
Okay.
And that's because I was trying to move to Alabama.
Yeah.
And I had a pack of pills in my car, and I forgot all about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a lot.
Yeah.
Got pulled up by the police. He
Speed.
Yeah. But he identified me. I'm in a big old truck, tents, rims, going to Alabama. Come on now. So
he knew, like.
Yeah, he pulled me over.
Yeah.
Somebody was riding slow over in the fast lane. Okay, what do we think about that? Okay, whatever. So, you know, he took my pills, and I was like, oh, okay, well, he can take them. You know, so it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's probably like $4,000 or $5,000 worth of pills. So he took my pills. I was like, okay, whatever, I can give them back.
$4,000 or $5,000. Really?
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about this. I am learning.
Yeah.
Right?
So I already knew I had somebody else that was going to the doctor. I'm gonna get my money. I'm gonna go pay for this lawyer.
Yeah.
The lawyer gonna go down there. I didn't have to talk or nothing. The lawyer went down to Alabama, went to court for me. I got my pills back. I went over to the Irish. You know what the Irish city is down there, like near Columbia, Spring Hills. Irish. It's called Irish, like a little Irish town. But that's where they had my pills at. So
and they let you get them?
Yeah. They had no choice to get them back. Cause I always kept my medical records.
Arica with an A.
I had medical records in the back and everything. I'm showing him everything. I got medical records for everything. You cannot take my stuff.
Yeah.
No, I didn't have them in the right container. You're right. But I have medical records
to
support that those are mine.
And they gave them back.
They gave them back. And I went and sold them. Got my $5,000 back, and now they give me my money. So
when did you say this is too much? This is enough.
So my husband ended up saying, "You want to move to Memphis?" Yeah. Let me move to Memphis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll move to Memphis. Because I had took a loss. One of my plugs had passed away.
Okay.
He had just came to my house on Thanksgiving, looked at my pots. He was Caucasian.
Yeah.
You know, he called me sister, I called him brother.
Yeah.
Because he was bringing me money and I was bringing him money. But we knew each other from elementary.
He passed away?
He passed away.
Okay.
He overdosed.
That's who you, okay.
He had overdosed. He overdosed. And I got the call and I had to go over there. And that was my first actual overdose. I didn't see him, but I seen the blood and everything.
Yeah.
So he kind of did something to me.
Yeah.
You know, I went to his funeral.
Yeah.
It really hurt me, you know, because he was just at my house that night.
Yeah.
Telling me he's going to come back and get him a soul plate, you know. And the guys knew that I was the queen pin. They knew it, you know. And I'm going to tell y'all, when y'all say, she wasn't no queen pin don't have to be loud.
Yeah.
I wasn't no loud queen.
Yeah.
But I was a queen pin.
Yeah.
So I went on and left and moved to Memphis. So when I moved down there, I was still traveling back and forth. Because I was going to Clarksville, going the back road from Memphis to Clarksville in Waverly, Tennessee. I'm riding Waverly, Tennessee, coming back around, getting my pills, getting my stuff, dropping off and selling them. You never ride with your medication, you never ride with your drugs, and you never ride with your money. So everything got dropped off in Nashville, and I dealt with everything when I got home.
Okay.
Because I needed to ride clean.
Yeah.
I ain't riding dirty. So, you never catch me riding dirty.
You had it ready.
I had it ready.
Yeah.
And so it came a time to where I couldn't get to Nashville no more to sell my pills. So I had stopped going to the doctor, but I still had people. I still had clients. And so I was like, how can I get my money? I gotta get my money. I need to get my money, you know. Yeah. And so then I had said, can't nobody do it but my kids. Because they got it in them. They got it in them. They come from me. Mm-hmm. So it was only 2 kids that I could call that I knew they could do what I needed them to do, you know. And so, and these was the ones that they didn't even have kids yet, I don't think. No, they didn't have children as of yet. Okay. You know, my other ones that had kids, I couldn't get them taken away from their children. Okay. So I was like, I can't get them taken away either, but I knew that they could, it was better for them because all they was doing was just swapping. Yeah. You know, they wasn't doing much, but I knew they needed a little extra money. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, let me get them to do it. So I was just going here. And after a while, I had to start back going down because I stopped them from doing it. I was like, no, I don't want them doing it. Yeah. And so one morning I was riding down, I called Squirt. I said, Squirt, I don't want to do this no more. And he was like, what? Yeah. I said, I don't want to do this no more. Yeah. And he's like, but Erica, if you don't want to do it, stop doing it. I said, hey man, you talking about me losing $15,000? Where am I gonna get that from? Yeah. You know, that kind of money that I live off of a month. Yeah. And he was like, well, babe, I don't know what to tell you. And I said, I just really feel like that, you know, you're gonna leave if our lifestyle change. Mm-hmm. You know, because we had a nice house down in Memphis. We was living good. Doing good. Yeah. And so I went down, did my due, came back, went another time, cried again. Yeah. And I was like, Squirt, I can't do this. I'm tired of doing this. He said, well, Erica, stop. Mm-hmm. And I said, this is going to be my last time. Yeah. So I did it. Had to go back again. This last time I went, I left out the house at 5 in the morning, and I was riding and I was crying. I did not call Squirt this time. I was just crying. I seen the sun come up. You know how God says, see the light? Yeah. I seen the light, and I was just crying. And I was speeding. And I sped past a state troop and everything, just crying. Yeah. And I was like, God, I get it. I get what you're saying to me now. I got it. I know what you're saying. And so I said, what you're saying to me that, Erica, the pills are not coming to you. You're going to it. Ooh. He was like, if you want to stop. He said, and you're going to have to go through the tunnel. You're going to go through the darkness. You're going to have to lose everything for me to give it back. And I was like, I got to lose everything. And he said, everything. I said, okay. All right. He said, now, when you come back to me when you're really ready. Yeah. All the times I said I was ready, I wasn't ready. So I said, okay, I'm ready. So he'll come the next month. I said, I'm ready. I'm ready to lose it all. When I told y'all I sold everything out of my house, I sold everything. What? I sold everything that was purchased with drug money. I sold it. I let my car be repoed. Come get it. I didn't care. I didn't even care. What? I went through it. I went through suicidal because I didn't have the money that I normally would have. Yeah. I was going downhill. I was losing it in Memphis. I was losing it. I was like, I'm about to die. Yeah. I can't pay my bills. My friends is paying my bills. My kids are sending me money. Yeah. And I was just like, my husband had left. He couldn't handle that. Yeah. We didn't have it no more. Yeah. Yeah. You know, yeah. He left me. He left me in Memphis. I was there by myself. Yeah. And I was like, God. And then they did a well check. They put me in a crazy house. And I was like, hey, no, yeah, in Memphis. They put me in a crazy house in Memphis. The police took me there. And I told them people, I'm not crazy. I said, I'm just broke.
Okay, I don't want to laugh. Yeah. Wait a minute. I'm just broke. I'm not crazy. Like, I ain't crazy. I'm broke.
I'm just broke.
Yeah.
Like, I'm broke.
What?
Yeah. And so I told them, I said,
but was the truth.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
I said, I've never been broke. And I said, this is not going to be my life. And I told my son, let me out here. I got a party to go to.
Yeah.
I said, hey, y'all going to take me
Oh,
home.
man, I need some money.
Yeah.
That's what's wrong. Yeah.
They said, you know what? We're going to, because they supposed to be keeping me for 24, 48 hours.
Yeah.
Not me.
I'm finna go.
I got to go.
Yeah.
Get me out of here.
Yeah.
They took me home. Baby, I went there and put on the finest white outfit. Like I just, y'all like I had it. The finest white outfit and went to that Christmas party and nobody knew I just came from out of this place.
Wow.
And I went back home and I still was drowning.
Yeah.
I still was trying to make it.
Yeah.
You know, my husband's cousin came over. Me and her talked, you know, and she left. I went in my room, I laid in the bed, trying to check my accounts, trying to see what I had going on.
Yeah.
All I know is I fell asleep. I woke up to a smokehouse. I woke up, I got up, all I seen was black smoke. My dog didn't bark or nothing. I immediately dropped to the ground. I opened up the door. My kitchen was on fire. And I was just like,
What?
oh my God, I'm about to die in here, you know. And so I put the fire out. I stayed in that house probably like 2 or 3 more weeks. My husband had came back home.
Yeah.
We moved back to Nashville. Well, no, let me take it back. I started the cleaning service. I still had a little money left for that.
Yeah.
And then I had a cousin that was like, Arica, I help you start a cleaning service if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, no, you won't. She said, yes, I will. I told her I want to get it started. She sent me the money. She helped me. I went on Facebook. I told Facebook what I was trying to do. People sent me money. I purchased everything I needed for my cleaning service in Memphis. I had it sitting in a corner in the living room, and that's where I would go and I would study my Bible, and I would still continue to pray to God that you know, that He was going to do something new in my life. And that's when I got my first cleaning bed in Memphis, and I had been cleaning ever since.
And let me tell you, what is it called? Worldwide
Extreme Cleaning Services.
Listen, you came and smoked this building out when COVID was in.
Yeah.
I remember.
Uh-huh.
I don't even want to say were, but you was doing your thing. I'm telling you.
I was doing my thing. I was
clean.
I was clean. I made clean money. Y'all were making that $15,000 back clean. In my cleaning service. I started making that money back. God started giving me my cars back. God started giving me furniture back, you know. And then I said, you know what, I'm going to take this thing to Nashville. Because I'm going to show Nashville that Arica's not the Arica that when she left. She's a different Arica.
Yeah.
So that's all I knew. So I came back to Nashville, moved into my auntie little 2-bedroom apartment. Honey, thank you, auntie. But I was ready to go, you know. And so, you know, moved in there, started my cleaning service here, and I just been elevating ever since. Ever since.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah. I tested myself. I was like, am I going to be able to go back around my plugs?
Yeah.
At first, when I first came back, I couldn't.
Yeah.
Because one time I seen my plug, he had a bag full of pills. I said,
No,
all you see is dog signs.
It's like, I'm not going to do it.
No, I can't do it.
Yeah.
You know? And then people were calling me, you back now?
Yeah.
You gonna get back on? You know, my family would call, you gonna get back started?
Yes.
You know, and I was like, no. Because I made a promise to God that if you stick with me and I stick with you and you pull me through this, I never go back to that lifestyle.
And you never did.
And I never did. And all because when I was in Memphis.
Yep. There you go.
I wrote this book.
She wrote a book, and it's really good.
I wrote this book in Memphis.
Okay.
Only if you knew. So I was getting myself prepared to come back to Nashville to live free. No longer bound. No more chains holding me.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't looking for acceptance from people because I don't care about people.
Yeah.
I don't care about people. You know,
yeah.
I was coming back to prove a point to me.
Yeah.
And I have proved that point. I think I've been back in Nashville probably 4 years. Probably 4 years now. for 4 or 5 years.
So, aside from the cleaning, God has blessed you and given it all back to you clean. You are also, now you're in the medical field.
Yes.
What do you do? Come on.
So what I do now, and y'all, this is a story with this because I was doing this years ago, but I had some haters. I had some hater-rays, and it was a hater-rays in my family.
Yeah.
And I was making so much money doing what I'm doing now, but I had a background, and I was working in the office and things, and my family told on me.
Yeah.
Said I had a background, and you know, because they wanted me out because I was doing too much. I was making too much money. I was running things, you know. Yeah. And so some of my family members hated on me and caused me my job. They didn't care that I had kids or nothing, and they caused me my job. So when I lost my daughter is when I got back into the medical field, and I didn't know I was gonna get it. I didn't know. Yeah. I just went and applied for it. She told me to come in. I was upfront about my background, and she was like, "Oh, how long was that?" And I told her. She said, "Oh, we don't care about that." And I said, "Are you sure?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "Yeah, I'm sure."
Yeah.
She was like, "You got the experience." I brought her my photo, all my certificates, everything. And she was like, "Oh no, you hired." I'm like, "Huh? I got to start back again."
Yeah.
It came right back around.
Yes.
And so
gave it back.
God gave it right back to me.
And let me tell you something. You didn't know that I saw you. This is a little fast forward, but we saw each other, but you didn't know that I saw you until I said, "Erica, what?" Hey, but I saw you at Opry Mills. You were with one of your patients. Just the way you care for them. I watched you. I was sitting in the car. I said, "Girl, there go Erica with it." And I'm looking. You were with your patient. You were taking him to the mall. Y'all had to do something at the mall. But just the way that you were handling him. Yeah. And then he was just so sweet. He smiled and talked to me.
Yeah, they my babies.
Yeah.
They. I work at a rehabilitation housing for senior care and mental care.
Yes.
And so they call me the mama bear up in there.
You're such a nurturer.
Yeah.
You're a giver.
Yes.
You are a giver. I just want to say that. You will give.
Yeah. Because a lot of those people in that house doesn't have families. Oh. Some of their families has just dropped them off. Don't want to be bothered with them because of their past and things that they did in their life. Yeah. You know, and sometimes people are not eager and easy to forgive people. Yeah. You know, and so
they feel alone.
Sometimes they feel alone, but in that house,
now we're there.
Now we're there. You are not alone. You know,
sometimes we'll be on the phone and they'll be asking you something. And you'll be talking to them and you'll tell them what to do. And he's grown. He's going to come and get this food. He'll eat it a little bit. And I'm like, listen to A. And they listen to you.
They listen to me. Yeah, they listen to me. Because I'm not going to steer wrong. I'm not going to steer wrong.
You know, one thing I love about you is your heart, A. Yeah. Seriously. Like, you have a good heart. Now, you going to tell it. Somebody raggedy, they're going to know they raggedy. Okay? But your heart, you know what I'm saying? You have been such a big push to me, big supporter of me. I sometimes wish that I could have done something, which is a topic that we're getting ready to go into in just a second. You know, I wish I could have done more for you because while you were at the peak and, you know, working and giving and pushing other women and just doing so many different things, you suffered a loss, which was the loss of your daughter. Yeah. We're coming up on 2 years.
2 years. Mm-hmm.
And I know you have your good days and your bad days. And I remember you saying when you suffered this loss, your words were, "I will never be the same. I'm not going to ever be the same, Erica." And I always held on to that, and I would watch you. And I would always, you know, I still do. I'll send you a text and say, "Hey, what you doing?" You know, the voice text queen. But I send you a voice text just to let you know I'm thinking about you and that I love you. But I remember when the incident occurred.
Yeah.
And I remember that time I got an inbox from you on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I read it and you said, "I just need you to pray. My daughter is not doing good. I need you to pray right now." Mm-hmm. And I thought, okay. And so when she didn't make it, I know that it broke you tremendously. And I hope we can get through this.
We can.
But you've given me permission to talk about it because I know there are moms out here that have lost their daughters, their sons, and it's hard to move on. And so sometimes just hearing that and knowing that they're not the only one suffering, hurting, good days, bad days, I miss you, I'm angry at you, you know, so many different emotions. Maybe if they hear that they're not alone and they hear your story, maybe you can be that push to somebody, because you always that motivation.
I try to
T.I. motivation.
Yes. That's my husband, y'all.
So let's walk through that journey.
So the journey with Makara. Y'all know that was my twin. That was my baby. Yeah. She hated when I say my baby or my kids. She like, Mama, I'm not your child no more. I'm grown. I got kids of my own. Yeah. Whatever. You're going to always be my baby. Yeah. I don't care what you're talking about. You know. But she was the mama to her siblings. Because I worked all the time. Yeah. You know. And so she was their mom. She was their go-to. I trained her. And she did what exactly, you know, she did her little sneak in, and she, you know, she did a lot of stuff with them, you know. You know, and so there's just sibling things, you know, children. But I knew she was my everything, but I never knew she was my everything until she left. You know. And I went back from like childhood. Yeah. Like, girl, you was my everything. You took care of the house. You made sure the kids were straight. Even though I would pull up and sit in the backyard and watch y'all scrambling around the house trying to clean up at the last minute. Yeah. But you made sure you got done. Yeah. You know.
That's deep. You were my everything, but I didn't know you were my everything until you were gone.
Until you were gone. Ooh. And so, I was like, gosh. So, let's go back. Makara, you know, Dad had passed away. And well, I'm gonna go back before that. No, it was after that. Makara dad had passed away,
and that was a little girl.
She was a little girl. Makara was 12 when her dad passed away, and Makara loved her dad. Oh my God, they were like two peas in a pod. There was times I would do phone check, and phone check is mean everybody bring your phone. Don't matter. I don't know when I might do it. Yeah. And you got a certain time to bring it to me. You can't erase nothing or nothing. Yeah. I want it now. Right. You know. And so I would lay up in bed and look at their messages, and they be talking about each other's mamas. Yeah. Talking about your grandmama, and he talking about his baby mama. But that was the relationship they had. So I would call him and say, "Why y'all talking about each other?" I was like, "Man, that's just something me and her got going on." And I was like, "Lord, you know." But you know, she was the only one that liked to stay over to his house with his wife. His wife, that's my baby mom. Yeah. And so his wife is my baby mom. And so she cared for my kids, and she took my kids in, not only my children, but children that wasn't even his. She would come and pick up Mercedes too, you know. And so anywho, so she had you know, lost her father. Then Makara got pregnant. And I could not take care of another child. Yeah. I couldn't do it. Yeah. You know. Yeah. And so my auntie and her auntie had gave me the money to get her an abortion. So I got an abortion. And so Michael Hot Butt ended up getting somebody pregnant probably a year later after that. So, you know, I can't tell her to get rid of her child because that's not my daughter. Right. But she kept her child. And I think some of that mentally had something to do with, you know, well, Mama, you know, you killed Michael's child, but you got rid of mine. But that's the difference is that you're my daughter, you're in my home. And that girl is not, and I'm not her mom. You know? I get it. So Makara had always held that against me too. You know, that I made her get rid of her child. But she ended up getting pregnant in the 12th grade year anyway. Yeah. You know, she walked across stage pregnant, big and pregnant, you know, and so she had a child, you know, and so going on through the years, I still did not know that she was just as mentally messed up as she was. Because she still was like normal, good person, normal, woo-woo. And so, you know, when I was out there in the streets, you know, I was with this guy, you know, he would give me a Xanax. I thought Xanax would keep you up. Yeah. I didn't know they had drugs, and I didn't have no knowledge of that type of stuff. So I was like, look, y'all, I said, you know, I got some Xanax. They keep you up, they keep you woke, woo-woo, because we used to always be at my house. And so when I found out Xanaxes had drugs in it, I had to stop it. I was like, heck nah, I'm not that type of person. Yeah. No. Yeah. But anywho, so Makara had ended up getting introduced to drugs through the guys that she was dating. And they tell her it takes the pain away. It does this, it does that. And so that's what she started doing. She started doing drugs to take away the pain that she was feeling from her father being gone. Making her have an abortion and things like that. And Makara always wanted this love and hip hop relationships. Because she loved them type of stories. Everything was make-believe because she was a Cancer.
Yeah.
So everything was a make-believe. But she was a lovable person.
Mm-hmm.
So anywho, going on through the years of dealing with her, wanting to find love, wanting somebody to love her. And it was a man. Mm-hmm. It wasn't me. She knew I loved her. She knew my mama loved her. Yeah. She knew her siblings loved her. Yeah. But she needed a man to love her. And that's what she was trying to do. But Makara always had her own little sneaky ways too. Because she had men's. Yeah. So, and that was just her, And so, anywho.
Knowing that she was going through that mentally, did you ever say, Makara, what you think about going to therapy?
I said all that.
She thought, Mom, I'm okay.
I'm all right.
Yeah.
She was in denial with me so much. Yeah. And I knew, but I didn't want to push so much on her. Mm-hmm. I even had thoughts of taking her kids from her, but I was like, if I take her kids, she's really gonna fall. Yeah. She's really gonna this, she's really gonna, her kids is her world. Mm-hmm. Like no matter what she did, her kids was her world. Yeah. She wouldn't even how to let me keep her kids. She wouldn't even how to let people keep her children because she kept her kids with her. Yeah.
So we're fast forwarding over to when it kind of was getting
worse,
really bad.
So it was getting bad. She would call me all the time at nights, and when I started working at Amazon during the nighttime, I didn't even know she would call me like clockwork. And I'll be like, girl, what do you want? How she know I'm up? I'd be like stuff like that. Yeah. And I'm like, how she know? And then she would just let me look at the ceiling. Yeah. So I always knew this when I was looking at the ceiling that she was on one. Okay. Okay. And so I was like, here we go, And sometimes it would anger me and I wouldn't answer the phone because I don't want to keep looking at the ceiling. Yeah. Because now she has me traumatized when people put their phone down and I got to look at the ceiling. I'll be like, please, can you pick your phone up?
Yeah.
Because it's traumatized.
Yeah, I understand.
And so she, it just started getting worse. She started getting paranoid. She started going through lots of anxieties. And I don't know, I can't tell you what type of drugs that she was on because me and her really never talked about the type of drugs that she was on. But have I seen her in her element before? Yes, I have. Mm-hmm. The week before. Yeah. She had called me and was like, Mama, please come. Mama, this is my neighbor, my neighbor that. And I'm going to come to my kids. I don't care where I was. I was in Memphis. I could get on there in the state, make it an hour and 45 minutes with them. I didn't care. Yeah. So I came that Thursday. Her hair was all over her head, and I was just looking at her. I was like, and so she said, Mom, what you finna do? I said, I'm finna park my car and wait for your neighbor to come. I said, because if she gonna keep messing with you to cause you to do this, this is what we're gonna do. Mm-hmm. That's when E kick in. So, so I did it, and she kept coming to my window, knocking on the window. I kept looking at her, and she's like, Mom, what you gonna do? I said, you get in the car, come on. No, I said, I don't talking in front of those children, Yeah. So I ended up getting her to calm down that Thursday. Mm-hmm. This following Thursday came. So every day I was going on her job. She was working in Malcolm. I was going on her job every day. I don't know why. I was just doing it. And she would I would come in, or she'd just get in the car with me, and we would just every day for the last probably 3 weeks. We was every day with each other, Mm-hmm. And so that day. She called me while I was up at Jolton's Nutrition. Yep, I remember. And she called me telling me that she got an interview in her field. She had got a medical assistance degree. Mm-hmm. And let me say certificate because maybe she would correct me. She said she got a degree. And I was like, okay. Yeah. And so she called, I had on speaker. Cecil was listening. She was so excited. Yeah. And so I said, well, I got your card, that my cousin Danielle had gave her for her kids. I said, I'm on my way on your job. So she's like, okay, Mom. I said, all right. Went up on her job. She was smiling. I walked in. I said, here. So I gave her the card, and I had my cousin on the phone. She's like, Mom, you gonna make me cry? You gonna make me cry? And I said, girl, don't cry, girl. Give me a hug. Yeah. So she gave me a hug. I gave her a hug. And so I left. Then I went to go clean up one of my Airbnbs. I let somebody have a party in the day before,
Mm-hmm.
you know, Miss Nice Erica. And so, you know, me and my son, youngest son, was on the phone talking, and he's like, Mom, something gonna happen with my car. I know it is. Either those kids gonna get taken or she gonna die. Because in March of that year, she had already overdosed when I came back from Pensacola.
Gotcha.
She had overdosed that night.
I remember that.
And so she had already told us that she didn't want to live, she didn't want to be here, she seen her daddy, things like that.
Yeah.
And so I kind of, when that happened, I kind of like, I know something gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because she's seen him.
Yeah.
It's like when the lady touched the hem of his garment,
Mm-hmm.
she seen him.
Mm-hmm.
So she cannot live to tell what she's seen.
Mm-hmm.
She just got to come down here and make everything right so she can go back where she needs to go. You know, God, go back home with God. And so, me who was on the phone, she called me. She said, Mom, they left me in the store by myself. I said, Makara, you all right? I said, here she go with this paranoia shit.
Yeah.
You know, I said, Makara, I'm at work by myself.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to just find ways to make her feel better.
Yeah.
Mama, you don't understand. I said, I do understand.
Yeah.
You know, and so I said, so she hung up. I called Montel. I go, your sister with that boy again, you know. And I said, she on that crap again. I said, how can she be like that at work, you know?
Yeah.
And so Montel's like, Mom, I don't know what's going on, you know. So she called me back again. Mom, I'm trying to tell you. I said, okay, Makara, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
You're at work. Please go to work, you know. So I hung up. Probably about 30 minutes, 45 minutes later, I went to my car. My car had been running the whole time that I was in there cleaning.
Yeah.
I got in my car. It was on E because it had been running for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
So I was on E.
Yeah.
So I was up on Kroger's. I was at Kroger's on Clarksville Highway. She called my phone. She always called through Messenger. I don't know a telephone number.
Yeah.
We don't communicate through telephone numbers, no.
Okay.
It was always FaceTime.
Yeah.
So she called me and she said, I heard the kids, Granny, she hollering, they yelling. I'm trying to see the sun hitting the phone. I'm like, what? I'm gonna call the police. You know, no, Mama, please don't call them. Please don't call them. Please. I was like, Makara, I'm gonna call them. Mama, please do not call the police. Can you please just come?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, here I come. I'm trying to get the gas. The gas card ain't working. I'm pumping gas as fast as I can get it pumped. I call my mama, where are you at? Cause she get up her.
Yeah.
She over here wilding out again, you know, because I've been going through months and weeks of her wilding out. She's having to go to the, you know, mental health co-op. I was having to get her kids and take her kids back and forth to school. You know, so I have been suffering for a while with her.
And so you didn't know that this was going to be, that wasn't in your mind that this was going to be it. You thought it was going to
It was
be
another episode. I just thought it was
Gotcha.
going to be another episode.
And so when you got there.
So when I got there, the police, the police and the ambulance and everybody, the fire department pulled up at the same time. My mama pulled up, because my mama said, I just left. 30 minutes ago, she was fine. And so I was like, what? And mama said, yeah. I said, oh God. I get over there. I on the phone with her godmama because they said she was on Facebook with it. So her godmama called me. I said, this is getting on my nerves.
Yes.
Why is she on Facebook with this stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So I get there, I jumped out. I see her on the ground, on her knees. I looked. The police bum rushed me. I done got back up. I don't care about you at this time.
Yeah.
Mr. Johnson.
Yeah.
Whoever you are.
Yeah.
You better get up out my face.
Yeah.
You know, I'm call your people, whoever you need to call, because I'm about ready to hurt you.
Yeah.
My child is right here. So I just opened the heat door. When they flipped her over, I looked. I said, okay. I said, I gotta get my grandkids. That's the only thing that's important to me right now. I cannot deal with this. Because I already knew.
I get it.
She was gone. When I seen them flip her over, I looked, I said, grandkids.
Got it.
That's what I gotta focus on right now. So they kept me at her house for 2 hours.
Wouldn't let you go to the hospital.
Wouldn't even let me go to the hospital. They told my DCS wanted to talk to me. They returned the kids over to me. And I'm just like, I didn't get to the hospital to my child. And I was like, no, man, we gotta keep you here. We got da-da-da-da. I'm just like, oh, God. So they kept me there for 2 hours. When they finally let me go, I stopped and got my grandkids something to eat. I called my mom. I said, I'm finna bring the kids to you. And I'm finna go to the hospital. And mom was like, okay. And so the same ride that I took when they called me about her daddy is the same ride that I felt when I was taking my grandkids to my mama. And I said, oh God, she gone, you know. And so I called my grandson back out, the oldest one. I said, look, I want you to be strong. I'm gonna check on your mama and I'll be back. And he was like, okay. I went to the hospital. They wouldn't let me see her. I was like, I stood out there for a while. I said, y'all gotta let me see her. I see what's going on with her. I went back there. They had all these tubes in her, and I was like, what is this? You know, what is this? And the nurse came, and she was like, she said, what are you doing back here? You weren't supposed to be back here. We supposed to have got you. We supposed to have talked to you. And I just looked at her. I said, I don't want nobody talking to me. I said, I can't do this right now. So I left out, and I walked all the way to the new apartment. And I stood in the middle, and I looked up in the sky, and I said, Lord, let your will be whatever it's going to be. I got this. I'll be strong, and I got this. And I said, I got it. I know what you done did, and I'm okay with it. You know, if this is gonna be better for her, and she wants to go on, I have no choice but to let her go. That's how I was talking to God. Mm-hmm. And I said, I'm not giving up on her, but I gotta let her go. It's up. Time is up. So I went back in there, went up in the toilet. They had finally got in the ICU. And when I went up, and that's when I texted everybody and was like, pray. The ones that was in my circle, I texted everybody and said, you know, when I had text, you know, because some people think, Arica, you so high and mighty, you'll never tell people that your daughter was on drugs. I don't care about that. I don't care about people. That's right. I give no F about people.
That's right.
And so, I got up there, I smelled the bowel. I didn't say a word. I just let my kids just be there. Mm-hmm. And I said, you just can't say nothing. You just gotta let them do what they gonna do. Mm-hmm. You already know she gone. I looked at her hands. I grabbed her. I said, yeah. I looked at her feet. That's where you lose life at. And I said, okay, cool. I left. I went home. I said, I called my best friend. I said, I gotta make funeral arrangements. And she was like, Arica, she not even gone yet. I said, I gotta make funeral arrangements. She wants a red dress. She wants this because the week before we was talking about a funeral. Because I told her I need to get some insurance on her. And she told me no. She said, no, mama, no insurance. You got friends. They're gonna help you. I said, my friends is not gonna help me bury you, girl. I don't want to be buried. I want to be cremated. And I said, but Makara, that still cost. Mama, your friends is going to help you. Trust me. They're going to do everything that needs to be done. And don't you worry, because they got you. Mm-hmm. Guess what, y'all? My friends had
what happened?
That's exactly what happened. Everything that she said, everything we talked about in the car, it happened exactly like that. And I was just like, she knew. She did her last lunch with me. She left work, y'all, to do lunch with me. No, she just never did lunch with me. Yeah. But she did, you know. And I was like, she knew. She knew. She knew she was not going to be here long. And so
I know that hurt you to go through that, and I know that it hurts now talking about it. But the strength that you have even in this moment to even share that story, to relive it and to share it, my prayer and my hope is that it is blessing someone to know that they can.
You can make it.
You can make it. It's probably so hard to put one foot in front of the other some days. Believe me, I remember.
Some days.
I remember.
Yeah, some days it was like that. It was like,
conversation.
F the world.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't care about your toilet. I don't care about your bed.
Yeah.
I don't care that you found a piece of hair.
Yeah.
It's like all that stuff. That's, you
None
know,
of that means
it was
nothing.
like none of that meant nothing to me. You know, I held on to cleaning for a year after that, but I had to tell them I didn't retire for a while because I've been so focused on you guys, and I have not been focusing on me.
Yeah.
You know, and the money gonna be here. I'm gonna make my money regardless. And God, I have been doing just that, you know. And I had told him I gotta take time for me, you know. And I retired, you know, for a while from cleaning, and they understood, you know. I'm pretty sure they miss me, but they understood, you know.
Speaking of taking time out for you, you went to Corner to Corner and graduated.
Yeah, I went back to Corner to Corner.
You did that for you.
Yeah, I did it for me.
Yeah.
And see, I was already an alumni.
Yeah.
I had graduated in 2020, but I had at that moment. That's when COVID had hit, and we only went to class one time, and then the rest of the time we was doing it on line. So we graduated offline.
Yeah.
That was not a real graduation, y'all. I know that.
Yeah.
And so I had to figure out some type of way to get my umph back, you know, because when she passed, that took a lot out of me. It took a lot. I didn't want to do nothing, you know. It just took a lot. I pulled away from people. I had to. You have to pull away from people.
To kind of heal.
To heal. And that's what the thing is. When people lose people, they want to hold on to everybody. You gotta let them go. You gotta let them go so you can heal. And that's what I had to do, because you'll never remember what you'll remember a little bit, but you'll never get that life back that you was doing. Yeah. That would never happen. Yeah. And so it was time I told you, I don't know if I'm gonna come to your event, Kim, because I can't be around people. My anxieties is terrible, you know.
And I totally understood that. And there were times that you even pushed through and still showed up.
Yeah. I had to show up. I was like, okay, come on and go, Arica. Go on and go. Whether if you say something or if you don't, just go, you know. And there were times I would just sit in the room and I would just be listening to everybody, because it was times I didn't even know if I was even here. Because you're in another world. You're in an outer. Your world is different. Walmart didn't look the same. Kroger's didn't look the same. It was just different. Wow. You in a whole different world, because now you living in a spiritual. You're supposed to be. If you're gonna do it right, you're living in a spiritual world.
Let me ask you this. I keep going back to when you say you want to do things for you, because we got to wrap up. But you just got a whole house, didn't you?
Yeah.
Like, that's a big deal. Like,
that's a big deal.
And that's another thing for you.
That's another thing for me. Yeah.
I know Makara would love that, wouldn't she?
She would have loved the house.
Would she have cooked some food?
Yeah, she would cook some food. All that salty food, hot food. She would cook the baby. But that's my element, and that's why I meet her in the kitchen. Yes, me and her are in the kitchen. That she'll say, "Come on in this kitchen, Mama." Yeah. And I left. When I stood there, when my baby's spirit rose, I opened up my heart, and I allowed her to walk in. Yeah.
To be with you.
To be with me, you know. Yeah. And my baby, she with me. Butterflies and all, y'all. Butterfly, everything. Yeah. So she lets me know that she's here. Like, she's here now. She's here, and she came. I told Kim, I said, Kim, she done came. Yeah. I said she came last month, you know. Because her 30th birthday is July the 13th, which is next month. And y'all know we doing it.
You know she ready.
She ready. So she came down. Mama, what y'all doing for my birthday? I had to leave them behind. I had to ask, you know, and I said a lot of time, and, you know, and when I knew she was here, because I could feel her. I felt her, and I said, she here. She's trying to see what I'm going to do for her birthday. So I started getting all these phone calls. People say, I had a dream about Makara. Or Makara this. Or I seen on her husband's story about Makara. Yeah. You know, I seen on other people about Makara. You know, and I said, she here. I said, she's among us, you know. And so if y'all don't believe in spirits, you should. Because I believe in them. and she keeps me grounded. She keeps me rooted. She lets me know what's ahead of me, and I listen to her because she can see it. I can't see it.
Keeping her alive in your heart with memories, thoughts of her friends and everything. I know that gives you sometimes the push you need sometimes, and her memory and everything, her kids, and everything.
Her kids are doing good.
Yep, so good.
They doing good. The daddies, I love y'all so much.
Yeah.
I thank y'all for just taking my grandchildren and raising them.
Yeah. Because you told me they're doing so good.
They're doing so good. They're laughing. They're smiling. They're getting fat. They're eating real good. Their hair stay good. They going out of town. They're living their life. And I know they miss their mom.
So
That's that. I'm not gonna take that for granted that they
I
don't.
understand.
But their dads are doing an amazing job.
Salute to y'all. Father's Day coming up. Salute.
Yes, with their one of them has a wife. The other one, he has a significant other that helps him out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I love them all for just being there for my grandkids, because I'm not with the mess. I'm grown. I'm an adult. And I really love that they're taking care of my grandchildren and I can sleep at night.
Yeah. Hey, I am so proud of you. This was a dope conversation.
This was a dope conversation. Yes, we did.
And we could go on and on and on. I know there's more to you, but the woman that you are, started from the beginning, all the way to where you are now. Resilience. Resilience. And you are such a beautiful, I always talk about you, I talk to the girls, I was say, Arica with an A is so pretty. Just a pretty girl. And so, I think that you need to stay on this journey and know that it's not going to be easy. But you got a village behind you that's praying for you.
My village.
Yeah, and that loves you. And on good days, when we popping off, when we calm, when we love you because you love us the same. And so I just want to tell you, thank you for being here today.
And thank you for your story. Having me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We've been talking about doing this, and I'm glad we were able to have the conversation. So where do you want people to, if they want to follow you, if they want to reach out to you, how can they get in touch with you?
Well, you can follow me on my Facebook page. It's Arica with an A, Arica. Arica Eggleston. I will, start back with my lives, So just be looking out for me.
Those are so good.
Yes.
When you be pushing the people.
Pushing the people. I gotta push them. I'm gonna go in a different direction this time, and it's gonna be more towards the parents who has lost their children.
Yeah. We talked about that. I think that'll be really, really good.
Yeah.
Healing for you, healing for other people, and a safe place for people, to come and have that conversation with people that have experienced the loss before.
Right.
So, this is so dope. Okay, 30 seconds. What's some dope advice? What you got for the people?
What I have for the people is sometimes you're gonna have to suffer. Suffering a little while. I promise you, it's gonna you will get there. Eventually, you will get there. You will get past the suffering. You will get past the light. You will get there. And sometimes people be scared to suffer, but I'm not, because I know in the end, God always has something in store for me. I
always gave it back. That's a scripture in the Bible, 1 Peter 5:10. And after you have suffered a little while, God will give it all back.
He'll give it all back.
Double for your trouble.
He will. Yes.
Thank you for this dope conversation.
It was so dope.
I love you so big.
I love you bigger.
Listen, thank you for listening and tuning in. Make sure you give Arica lots of love. This took strength to be able to sit here and speak about a lot of the things that she spoke about. So give her lots of love. I love you big.